I'd like to introduce Jonathan Pinson first to talk from Airtext to talk about a new program that you've got. Fill us in first on what's happening right now with the Oasis program, and then from there to what's happening with Airtext.
Yeah, so we've had our Airtext product line for a few years now, and we've had a lot of customers say they want us to do some entertainment functions with that. And so we've tossed it around for a few years. We actually started this SDC project back a couple years back, so this has been a product that's in the making for a long time. And essentially what our goal was is to create an oasis of relaxation in the cabin. We've had a lot of people, when we try to talk to them about Airtext, they say, being in the back of the aircraft on our trip is my time to disconnect or my happy time. So we've tried to really create a product that lets people use their own devices, lets them use really high quality noise canceling AirPods to where they can really just relax in the back of the aircraft until they're to get to their destination.
Nothing like being entertained en route.
Nothing like being entertained en route. First world problems, right?
Yep. Well, we got to keep everybody behind the firewall happy one way or another.
That's true.
So how are you building both the hardware and software for this? How does this work out?
Yeah, so actually we have a box right here. We used a lot of the same principles as our Airtext box, and so it's actually on the same STC.
Obviously a bit more bandwidth.
Yep, so it's on the same STC, but we've added a lot more functionality. So with Airtext, we could do email, talk, text, WhatsApp, we could do moving map functionality, we did a lot of pilot features. This is more centered or focused on entertainment content. And so we can do, it has multiple audio inputs, so you could wire audio into it like a aux in and share it with everybody on board. You could load it up with audio or video files, and anyone on board can stream and access those. It actually has 2 channels of satellite radio, so you could have anybody on board tapping into their favorite news channel or music station.
Howard Stern, where are you, man?
Where are you? So you're listening to that on your own device, and you're using your own noise canceling earpods that give you a really good voice quality or sound quality in the back of the aircraft. So we also have added some feature. There's a lot of people that said, hey, we want something that these airframes, when they make them, when you deliver a brand new clean slate airplane, the technology in the back is 5 to 10 years old by the time the aircraft is delivered and certified. So another one of our goals was to be able to give new life to an older aging airframe. So you could put this box in, and now you added
much easier to upgrade the older airframe than replace the old airframe?
Oh yeah. So
also cheaper?
Much cheaper.
Big time.
And so you can take this box and put it in the airplane, and now as far as the entertainment and the technology, you've just increased you brought it up a decade as far as technology's going. So it has a Wi-Fi router built inside of it, along with those other features. We can also do hardwired moving
You're
map.
putting 5 pounds in a 2-pound bag in this puppy, aren't you?
It's dense. It's right around 3 pounds, but there's a lot in there.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
HTML, okay. You got it all covered in there.
Yeah. So
I need that in my office, much less my airplane.
The idea is with Airtext, we're giving you a very low cost, high value connectivity solution, and then with Oasis, it does the entertainment stuff that Airtext didn't do before. So with both of our products, now you have you put in 2 boxes, you have an all-in-one entertainment and connectivity solution for the whole aircraft.
Interesting. Talk to me about installation issues, where, when, how much.
Yeah.
And what are the shops telling you about the process?
So the box has so much to offer that you could really make the installation as easy or as difficult as you'd like. So just on the most basic side, if you wanted to do a moving map audio video server, it might just be give it power and hook up flight data to it, and that's it. Everyone accesses the content wirelessly through the devices, so that's a pretty simple install. But we also have a lot of digital inputs and outputs and digital I/O, so someone could, like if, for example, drive some cabin lights with this thing. So depending on where the installer wanted to go with it and what peripherals the customer wanted to control with this thing, it could complicate the install. We're targeting right around a $20,000 list price, which we think from what we've been talking to, we just announced it yesterday, so we're getting good feedback that it's going to fill a niche in the market where there's not a lot of options. It's either a huge, really expensive CMS,
all or nothing,
or there's not a lot of options. So we feel like we're going to be able to fill a niche there.
What are the shops telling you?
Sounds easy. We've done really, really well with all the shops with our Airtext product. Typically, an install for an Airtext is you give it power, you give it flight data, and you hook it up to an Iridium antenna. And I brought one here. It's very small. There's a lot of airplanes that already have the Iridium antennas already on them that maybe have been used with an older system. It's easy to get engineering and put these on your aircraft. Some of the new stuff that we saw yesterday, the antennas were like bigger than a skateboard. And so for a lot of our customers, they're flying Part 23 jets, turboprops, this makes a lot of sense for them.
Well, smaller the better, especially when you start getting up into those flight regimes. Huh, I'll be darned. But do you have a rough idea at this point on estimated installation times?
I'm thinking anywhere between 25 and 40 hours would be an estimate if it's a more basic install. Now, if they're going to be adding all this, doing the CMS control that this box can do, then I can't really, I don't know what that would entail. But just our solution, if you needed to put in a satellite radio antenna, and the box itself, it should be relatively easy to do.
Interesting. And where did this whole program come from? What was its genesis?
So we had been tossing the idea around for an entertainment solution for a long time. And COVID happened and business was booming and we had the chip shortage, and so it kind of got put on pause for a little bit because it was, well, you don't want to design a new product if you don't know if you're going to be able to build it next month. And so luckily the chip shortage and some of that stuff, the supply chain stuff, have resolved themselves, and we were able to identify the hardware platform. And based on what our customers' requirements were, we were able to identify what this needed to be and what it needed to do. We were approached by an OEM that said, hey, we need a solution, and they gave us a set of requirements. And so we've taken that, but we've tried to expand upon that to be a great solution for the aftermarket community as well.
Well, you guys have done some smart work heretofore. Let's go back over the Airtext program at this point, because it's been a while since we've had you guys on air. Where's that program at right now? How's it going, and what's new?
Yes, so Airtext is doing very well. We're setting records every month, quarters. We're probably around 1,200, 1,300 aircraft now using Airtext.
Really?
Yes.
Excellent. That's excellent penetration.
Yeah,
Good.
we have, there's now 3 OEMs that have it on airframes. It's a line fit option on one airframe and factory options on 2. And all the shops, we're glad to see all of our dealers here, but most all the avionics shops are installing it as well. We're getting really good, the shops love it because it's easy to install, but not only that, our customers love it. It provides a great value to them, and it's a low cost option. Our system doesn't do full-blown internet, so you're not going to be going to YouTube or streaming, but it does allow you to do the key things that a lot of people are looking for, which is email, talk, text, moving map, and WhatsApp functionality for a fraction of the cost. One of our customers, we saw him earlier today, but he said, we give you 90% of the functionality for 10% of the cost. And
that's a pretty good trade.
A lot of people are looking for just the basic communication without the thousands and thousands of dollars every month for their connectivity bill. So typically, an Airtext customer might pay, $1,500 a year is a good estimate for how much they would pay for their connectivity.
Mm-hmm. That's dropping the bucket compared to other solutions at this point.
Yeah, and again, it's not full-blown internet, but a lot of these guys, they don't need that. They're not looking to do all that stuff while they're in flight.
Where do you go from here with that program?
At this point, they're 2 separate boxes, but we are looking, and there's some ideas, and maybe we'll be giving you some news next year, but integrating the Airtext with the Oasis box is something that we have on the horizon.
Okay.
And so we got some things we're tossing around, but nothing ready to announce yet.
And again, going back to the beginning here, as I understood at the time, Airtext installations themselves are fairly simple.
Yep.
Installation times being about what?
25 to 50 hours, depending on the interior removal.
Okay. And then
the hardest part is actually putting the antenna on the airplane.
Yeah,
if they need an antenna, they got to pull the headliner down, and some airplanes that's much more labor intensive than others.
Plus, just placement tends to be a real bear these days. Antennas are about as persnickety as ex-wives. It's just really tough, you know.
Luckily, and that's why I brought this, it's so small, it's really easy to get this on a lot of different airframes. And so you don't have to find a huge area to put the antenna on.
Well, I'll tell you what, we've been interested to see how this whole thing sprang out a couple of years ago when we spoke to David and the rest. It's been fun to see it continue, but obviously it's a big leap with the Oasis program. How can people get more information, and what parts of the market are you targeting specifically?
So great questions, Jim. You can go to our website, www.goairtext.com. Through there, we have all kinds of resources on the web page. We actually have a dealer portal that most of the guys here have access to with some technical information. And then you can contact us directly through the website as well. As far as we're about to finish the STC, and then we should be ready to supply our STC. Our OEM is working on their own STC. Ours, we're targeting to be done by the end of May, and then availability for the aftermarket in June.
And what airframes are you targeting initially?
Our STC is on the Citation 10, but we're targeting all cabin aircraft. We believe that with our STC and our data, there'll be a lot of people that can get it installed. But we're talking about doing an AML as well.
I was about to say AML forthcoming.
Yep.
Interesting. Well, what else is you got to be thinking about what's the next big thing for you guys. So just between you and me, and ignore the camera, what's next in the Airtext quiver of arrows here?
Yeah, well, we think that we'll have our work cut out for us. Just growing Oasis and getting that many aircraft, adding features and functionality and integrations with other systems, and who knows where we'll go from there. But
as again, I enjoyed watching the process and the progress that has been made heretofore. Would certainly appreciate the chance to talk to you, and look forward to seeing what's next time we sit down and talk. Sure. Awesome. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, Jim.
Aero-News Network's coverage of the 66th Annual AEA International Convention and Trade Show, live from Orlando, Florida, is brought to you in part by the following sponsors: